Chewie's all like,
what's it like?
That's what Chewbacca
Yeah, one more
sound
time?
like, right?
Okay, one more.
I gotta be absolutely clear on this, John. You Haru, was that it?
Welcome to Bracket, the only show where we take a bunch of shit and pair it off against another bunch of shit to see what the best shit really is. I'm your host, Cullen Jennings, and joining me today is John Abbott.
Hey, I'm John, and it's a bird, it's a plane, it's Bracket.
Good enough.
And don't forget about Jesse Knowles.
Hey, I'm Jesse, and I can leap buildings in a single bound.
Right. And Emmy-nominated creator of The Dark Knight, Greg L. Mercer.
Hi, I'm Greg L. Mercer, and I also know trite superhero aphorisms.
And joining us, special friend of the show, Open Mike Eagle.
Hello, I'm sitting here with Lou Ferrigno. We're both crying into my laptop.
So everyone's breaking up superhero stuff tonight because we're going to do the best superhero casting. So prepare to get mad.
Be aware that even though this episode is coming out after Avengers 2, it is not out as of time of recording.
None of us have seen Avengers: Age of Ultron yet. So
right away, in round one in Group A, we've got Hugh Jackman as Wolverine versus Patrick Stewart as Professor X. In Group B, we have Chloe Grace Moretz as Hit Girl versus Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury. In Group C, we have Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man versus Zoe Saldana as Gamora. In Group D, Ron Perlman as Hellboy versus Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. Group E, Michael Keaton as Batman versus Kelsey Grammer as Beast. In Group F, we have Scarlett Johansson versus the Black Widow versus Chris Hemsworth as Thor. In Group G, we have Wesley Snipes as Blade versus Chris Evans as Captain America. And in Group H, we got Anthony Mackie as the Falcon versus Christopher Reeves as Superman. So, right away, in round one in Group A, Hugh Jackman as Wolverine versus Patrick Stewart as Professor X. Anyone care to take a stab at it? Like Wolverine's claws?
I don't get it. Is that from something?
No, it's a thing.
he don't stab, he slash.
He does everything.
He does a lot. So my problems with Wolverine are multifold and interesting, but Hugh Jackman, very good actor playing a very good character. There's no question about that. The character he's playing isn't really Wolverine.
It has become Wolverine.
Right. A lot of people think of Wolverine and Hugh Jackman comes to mind. But like in the comics, Wolverine is like 5'0" and like built like a bowling ball. I mean, the guy's... He's meant to be thrown. So
Greg, you say when people think of Wolverine, they think of Hugh Jackman. Yeah. I think it's like when people think of Professor Xavier in the comics, they thought of Patrick Stewart. You know,
yeah. I mean, that's the thing is like even in the comics, like I read Professor Xavier in Patrick Stewart's voice.
It's one of those things where before there were ever X-Men movies, people would say they should get Patrick Stewart to be Professor Xavier.
Like Jean-Luc Picard having mind powers versus anybody was like the way to go.
So early, I'm a Patrick Stewart.
I'm going to be a hard Hugh Jackman as Wolverine vote. I think it's cool that he, even every time you think he's like out of the whole movie series, he's kind of like, nah, okay. And he says like, I'd like to do Wolverine forever, but I think that's it. And then he just does like 4 more movies. And whether or not they're that great of movies, that last one, the Wolverine, the director's cut, is so bizarre fun that I can't not enjoy him. And I enjoyed him so much even when he was in 1970s in Days of Future Past. Like he's still good. And I think Hugh Jackman carries that. Not a diss on Patrick Stewart at all. But I'm a huge Hugh Jackman fan, and as Wolverine, he's got it going. I can't hate him, bub. So
the only thing I have to say about Hugh Jackman is the fact that people constantly make Hugh Jackman jokes at me if I forget to shave because of my sideburns.
I would never shave then. That sounds great. I would want to be compared to Hugh Jackman.
Huge Jackman.
Huge, yes, that's him. No, I'm a Professor Xavier vote. I mean, I'm Patrick Stewart.
Okay, I gotta go back. I'm gonna do this age thing again, and I'm gonna go back to Wizard magazine and how Wizard magazine used to do that segment where they casted superhero movies in every issue, and the go-to one was always Patrick Stewart as Professor X. Never failed, never faltered. They always had arguments about who should be Wolverine, Cyclops. The one everybody knew was Patrick Stewart, and I think he should win this whole damn thing.
Well, he's won this round. John, where's your vote?
I will give one over to Hugh Jackman, but yeah, Patrick Stewart's going to take it.
All right. So Patrick Stewart knocks out Hugh Jackman 3-2. We have Chloe Grace Moretz as Hit Girl versus Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury. Both easily the most foul-mouthed people in both the brackets.
So when they made the Ultimate Universe, they literally had to contact Samuel L. Jackson and say, "Hey, is it cool if we make this guy out of you?"
Yeah, I mean, like, this is years before the movies.
Yeah,
by the way.
I mean, in like 2000.
I didn't know this story.
Oh yeah, they got in touch with him and they said, "Look, we're gonna make Nick Fury just Samuel L. Jackson. He's gonna look exactly like you. Is that okay?"
But with an eye patch.
Yeah, and he said, "Yeah, except if you ever do a movie, I have to play him." So
I
mean, that's kind of the epitome of perfect casting, right?
Yeah,
it's a character. The Hugh Jackman in the movie, the Samuel L. Jackson in the movies, like is now coming to the like regular comics.
Yeah,
the,
even in like the main 616 universe, because he was the ultimate guy, but now he's just sort of Nick Fury. He's like the main guy.
He's in the regular comics. He's black now.
Oh yeah.
Well,
the whole
all
storyline
the
is there was
universes
original,
are merging right now.
Well, there was original white David Hasselhoff Nick Fury.
Yeah,
and,
with the silver sides.
Right,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he got
he
old
still
and
he still
died,
exists.
basically. Right, he got old and died, and then it was revealed that like years ago he had a son nobody knew about. And
That was
it's
black?
Black Nick Fury. Yep.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
We just opened it up.
that's some intense stuff.
I'm just saying that hurts. That hurts.
No. I am not especially familiar with Kick-Ass. From what I understand, Hit Girl is one of the better parts of those movies. And I mean, I think Chloe's a great actress from what I know of her. But I have to be like, this is an easy Samuel L. Jackson vote for me, just given that story.
Yeah.
Hit Girl is fantastic. I get the Samuel L. Jackson love, but there is got to be some love for Hit Girl in there. She is a foul-mouthed ninja, like, assassin, and she's, 11 in the movie?
Yeah,
I
something
think,
like that.
yeah, her in the first one, and then in the next one, she's even more badass, and she's just, like, a couple years older. She drives a motorcycle. I can't even drive a motorcycle properly. Like, I'm going to throw one over there because I know Samuel L. Jackson's probably going to win this, but I'll throw one to Hit Girl just because.
Yeah, for me, I think it's an easy Samuel L. Jackson. Everybody loves him, and also that character, that Nick Fury appearance at the end of the first Iron Man movie is like what kind of brought us to this place in the first place. Like,
Yeah, I mean that when you see the last scene in Iron Man for the first time, and it's fucking, you see a guy standing there like, what's going on here? And then it turns around and it's fucking Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury, and he says the words Avengers Initiative. My theater fucking exploded, and it was like 3 days after the movie had come out.
Yeah.
So John, are you a Nick Fury vote?
yeah.
All right. Eagle, you Nick Fury vote?
So look, during the course of this conversation, my original vote was for Nick Fury instantly, just because I thought the brazenness of casting him, because I didn't know the whole comic book story.
Sure.
Because I thought he was just white, and he just decided to not make him white, which I thought was hilarious.
That's pretty funny.
I mean, they just did in the comics 10 years before.
Right. I just didn't know any of that history.
Sure.
I thought it was just like stunt casting, and it made me laugh. And so he had my vote, but then that whole story about what's happening in 616, and then somehow he's related to the old white Nick Fury, that made me take the vote away. But I've never I don't really know about Kick-Ass, so I have to give Samuel L. Jackson the vote back.
Fair enough.
They even put in the Agent Phil Coulson, like he's now in the comics too.
Yeah, he was purely in the movies, and now he's in comics as well. But.
So, all right. Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury knocks out Chloe as Hit Girl. So, we're going to move on to the next round. Or the next one, we got Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man versus Zoe Saldana as Gamora.
I'm sorry, guys. I don't see the appeal of Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man. He's better when he's wearing the mask, and then he's just voice acting.
But he's great. He plays a great Spider-Man. People have like very different. It's like those amazing Spider-Man movies are like people like him or they don't, and I don't think he's a great Peter Parker, but I really like him as Spider-Man, if that makes any sense. Like,
you're not wrong. Andrew Garfield is a great Spider-Man. You're exactly right. Peter Parker, I could see it. Modern, whatever, maybe. I don't know. I'm more of a Tobey guy as my Peter Parker, but I definitely like Andrew Garfield as my Spider-Man. Little tall too. Little tall for Spider-Man, guys. Come on here.
He's a little too everything.
He's
a
like
little
6'3" in the movie. Come on, guys.
He's a little
Spider-Man
too
is not
good
6'3".
looking in every sense of the
Yeah.
way. You know,
Yeah.
I think we talked about who we were going to put in from Guardians of the Galaxy before we started recording, and we settled on Zoe as Gamora because, when you first watch that movie, I think she doesn't stick out a lot, like, because everyone has like a super funny line, and she doesn't get as many. But I just rewatched Guardians, and every time I've rewatched it, she stands out to me more and more. Like, she has kind of more of a real character. She has more like character motivation than a lot of them, you know.
And she's the only one sort of tied to Thanos, which is, a big deal.
And I think, and not to discredit the rest of the cast of Guardians, because they're all pretty great. I'm a big Drax fan, but I like Gamora as this entry a lot because she seems like the core.
Everyone's gonna ask why we didn't put in Chris Pratt. It's because pretty much anybody could have played that role. Come on.
Remember, Glenn Howerton, who is Dennis from Always Sunny in Philadelphia, had that role into the last audition.
I can't fucking take the image of Dennis in space saving Gamora. I can't fucking take it.
So yeah, I'm a Zoe Saldana as Gamora vote.
Really?
I am as well.
Oh boy. Well, crap. I think I already know how Jesse. I'm gonna give one to Andrew Garfield. To me, I don't know. I was especially burned by Spider-Man 3, like a lot of people were, and to me, Andrew Garfield was like a good thing for me. It was like a fresh breath of air. So I'm going Andrew Garfield.
Okay, so I'm upset with both of these people. One, because I'm really partial to Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man. I don't care if he was 57 years old.
Thank you!
I still want him to be Spider-Man. And then I used to have a big thing for Jada Pinkett, and I feel like she's old now, so they have a new Jada Pinkett and Zoe Saldana, and she gets all the stuff that Jada Pinkett used to get.
Yeah, so you're exactly right.
I'm upset with her too, but I'm gonna vote for Zoe because I feel worse for Tobey Maguire.
I like that vote. I love that vote.
Jesse, where's your vote?
I don't hate the Amazing Spider-Man movies. They just didn't do much for me. Whereas I really enjoyed Guardians, and the way that people talk about Gamora's, because I haven't seen it since the theaters. The way people were talking about Gamora's character makes me want to go back and rewatch it. Whereas I feel like I've gotten everything I could get out of Amazing Spider-Man movies.
There are people out there who have made arguments that like Gamora should have kind of been like the main character of that movie, and they make some pretty good points.
I think she could have too. Yeah, I was a little disappointed when I first watched it with Gamora's character, but yes, she is about the only one with real character motivation. So
yeah, all right.
Zoe Saldana as Gamora knocks out Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man 4-1. We got Ron Perlman as Hellboy versus Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. Come on, John. I want John to start us off.
Sorry, Ron Perlman. No question it's Robert Downey Jr. Ron Perlman is a good casting for Hellboy. I don't think those Hellboy movies they're not really what I wanted from a Hellboy movie. But I mean, come on. Robert Downey Jr. is the whole reason that like this bracket is happening, right? Like,
John, I don't disagree, but do you think they could make a Hellboy movie with anyone but Ron Perlman at this point?
Probably.
I don't think so.
Probably.
And I think Robert Downey Jr. is more replaceable than Ron Perlman.
I don't know, but I don't know.
That being said, I'm an Iron Man vote as well.
Like, Robert Downey Jr. we're reaching a situation with Robert Downey Jr. It's the same thing as like Hugh Jackman and Patrick Stewart. Like, it's the line between Tony Stark and Robert Downey Jr. is very blurred at this point.
Yeah.
So that's my vote.
Do people mostly like Robert Downey Jr. because he has a bunch of like witty quips?
Well, they like him because at one point he was an underdog. They like him because he
did a bunch of blow and hired some hookers. Like, I mean,
right? They like him because he was in a bad way, and now he's
some call that bad. I don't.
And now he's a hero to children everywhere.
Yeah, let's get some hookers and get some blow. Robert Downey Jr. is my vote here. Sorry, Hellboy.
If you think Ron Perlman isn't all about any of that too, though, I mean,
That's true. I feel bad now.
Robert Downey Jr. pulls off Tony Stark very, very well, I think.
It's the example of making people care about a hero they didn't think they cared about.
For sure. I remember seeing a trailer for Iron Man and being with someone at the time. And I was like, "You think that's going to be okay?" And the person was like, "No, that's going to be terrible." But to me, even if I didn't like the Hellboy movies very much, Ron Perlman as Hellboy kind of stands out in my head as one of those they should get Ron Perlman in the same way like Patrick Stewart is Professor Xavier. It just fits. It's it's one of those rare instances where a person fits the role to a T.
I guess I've always kind of read Hellboy as being a little more naive and funny in my head than Ron Perlman, if that makes any sense.
He just has the build
voice
for
is
it.
very associated with me at this point.
Yes.
Jesse,
I'll be a Ron Perlman vote.
Eagle, where are you?
Somebody asked earlier if anybody else could play Hellboy, and the answer is no, because Ron Perlman is the only person on Earth with a natural forehead size.
To put those broken off horns on.
Yeah, the only part he doesn't need prosthesis. They just put him right there on the front of his head. But I voted still for Robert Downey Jr.
All right, that's it. That's Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, knocking out Ron Perlman as Hellboy. Sorry, buddy, 4-1. We got Michael Keaton as Batman versus Kelsey Grammer as Beast. Now, I'm going to start off real quick. Mike totally shut down Janelle earlier on Twitter about Michael Keaton, and it was funny, and that's all I wanted to bring up. So
that plays into my vote later. I'm just gonna go ahead and vote Michael Keaton because she threatened me after that. I take it very seriously, so yeah.
I'm gonna come in as a Beast vote. I think it's one of the. I don't care if he wasn't leading that movie or anything, but if someone tells you they got Kelsey Grammer as Beast, you immediately light up as holy shit. It is a genius casting. It makes perfect sense, and his makeup looked fantastic. He looked great.
It is pretty much one of the only redeemable things about that movie. Yes.
It's like when someone tells you they got Daft Punk to do the Tron soundtrack. You're like, oh my god, yeah. Like Kelsey Grammer as Beast, you're like, oh yeah, that's what you would do. I'm still voting Batman.
Come on! You don't care about Batman, Greg. You hate Batman.
They made a whole nother movie about how good Michael Keaton is as Batman. And it just won Best Picture.
Damn.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
I'm going to slide on in here as a Kelsey Grammer as Beast vote because he is not my favorite Batman. So,
it's 2-2.
Sorry. Sorry, Janelle. You know that. I'm a Val guy.
Tell people who your favorite Batman is.
I'm a Val Kilmer vote because that movie, Batman Forever, is a perfect film.
You could say George Clooney and get less ridicule.
No, I don't care. I don't want George Clooney. I want Val.
I'm just letting you know.
I want Val, and I want
who's it
Chris
down
O'Donnell?
To? Yeah, Chris. Yeah, you're right.
It's definitely down to me.
Yep.
And I haven't decided because I like Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man more than I like. I mean, when I mentioned earlier, yes, I mean, I'm jumping around logic here. When I mentioned earlier that Ron Perlman is kind of like a masterstroke casting choice, I don't like Hellboy as much. I would rather watch Robert Downey Jr. Likewise, I'd rather watch Michael Keaton as Batman versus Kelsey Grammer. But Kelsey Grammer as Beast is such a perfect casting choice.
Okay, wait. You say that, but that's is that only because Beast wasn't super huge in the front of that movie? What if they actually made him part of the team and he was out there and was in the top billing of the movie?
Well, they did, and it sucked. His role sucked in those other movies, and not as Kelsey Grammer. That's what I'm saying. As Kelsey Grammer as that Beast rules. Beast in First Class, probably not so much.
But what if it was Kelsey Grammer out there on the fields tearing up Sentinels? How great would that be?
I'd be rock hard. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm a
Keaton vote. Keaton vote?
Yeah.
All right,
Oh my god.
All right, Michael
You guys,
Keaton.
you guys are laying it out for Iron Man to win this at this point.
That's for
Michael
sure.
Keaton as Batman knocks out Kelsey Grammer's Beast 3-2. We got Scarlett Johansson as the Black Widow versus Chris Hemsworth as Thor.
This is Scarlett Johansson as the Black Widow. She wins this round, just letting you guys know. Spoilers. Scarlett Johansson is dead on, bang on, exactly what Natasha should be. Chris Hemsworth as Thor is really good, but we didn't even have him in this bracket until like 5 minutes ago.
You're not wrong. And
Yeah, but
I'm
never mind.
I'm definitely I'm a ScarJo vote. Just throwing that out there.
No, she does not like to be called ScarJo. Y'all got to cut that out.
I'm a ScarJo vote.
She said in an interview, "I don't like being called ScarJo. Leave her
All right.
alone."
All right, I'm a Scarlettson Johanssonberg vote.
Great.
I just want to point out that I had she might have been my favorite part of Winter Soldier.
Yeah, she was the best
so
part of
much-
Winter Soldier.
She was
Definitely
so-
not my favorite part of Winter Soldier, but it's
I
because there's so much more in Winter Soldier that I loved.
I think Anthony Mackie might be.
Yeah, I agree.
But I'm gonna give it to Chris Hemsworth. Thor's so much fun. Like, some people don't like the Thor movies very much. I like them a lot, and I also think like out of all the heroes that we have, like so many of them, even the fun Marvel heroes, like they kind of make it seem like being a superhero is a lot of work. Thor makes it seem like it's so much fun. He is laughing while he's hitting people with his hammer.
Yeah, Iron Man generally seems really dour. You're right.
Wow. Jeez. Wow. I'm a Chris Hemsworth vote. I don't know why Greg had to attack me personally.
Colin, where you at?
I'd rather hear from Eagle first.
Eagle, where you at?
Definitely Scarlett Johansson. The
Hey, there
the best Thor was Eric Allen Kramer from The Incredible Hulk Returns, the NBC TV movie that came out in 1988.
So
Because I'm old.
if that's a win for Thor, or if that's a win for Black Widow, I'll throw one to Thor just because I think Scarlett Johansson rules. I think Chris Hemsworth rules. I have no issues with either one. So Scarlett Johansson knocks out Chris Hemsworth with her fist. And Wesley Snipes as Blade versus Chris Evans as Captain America.
Oh boy.
See, well, okay, so Greg, earlier, you said that you think that Robert Downey Jr. would be replaceable as Iron Man. Out of the like the Marvel Avengers lineup that we have right now, in my mind, Chris Evans is the most like easily fit in with somebody else. I think.
Yeah, because they've already got Anthony Mackie.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's the
exactly.
thing is that they've lined it up so that like Captain America at some point is going to die, and they're going to get either Winter Soldier or Falcon to replace him.
Yeah.
I just think, and I love Chris Evans. I think I had big doubts for him because I remembered him as Johnny in the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Which I still don't think is that bad as his role, but yeah.
But I do think like the idea of Anthony Mackie getting to be Captain America makes me so excited. I don't know if that's the direction they're gonna go with, but I might be Wesley Snipes.
That's what I was gonna say. Here's the thing about it is that if there's a Blade movie, they did a Blade TV show, and it was actually not even that bad, but it didn't get any ratings because Wesley Snipes wasn't Blade. And so it just disappeared. Like, it was just gone. And how can you not have Wesley Snipes as Blade? He was made for that character. That character was made for him. Like that, I get Chris Evans, but yeah, he's already setting up to be replaced. Sorry, spoilers, everybody.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I mean, Wesley Snipes as Blade, it fits perfectly. Chris Evans as Captain America made me redefine my opinion of Captain America, though.
This is starting to go in a direction I did not expect. So my dream cast for Captain America was not Chris Evans. It was Aaron Eckhart. I wanted when I was reading the Captain America comics, I'm like, this guy looks like fucking Aaron Eckhart. Get Aaron Eckhart. And to the point where like I saw a picture of Robert Downey Jr. and Aaron Eckhart hanging out together, and I'm like, oh shit. But, and so they announced Chris Evans, and I was like, really? Johnny Storm? I don't know. And then I saw that movie, and it was easily, out of all the Marvel movies up to that point, my favorite one. I am a Chris Evans vote. That guy brought the fucking house down.
Yeah, he's real good.
He's very good. I would very easily accept somebody else as Captain America.
Sure, I get that.
But that's because Captain America is a replaceable character. You could replace Captain America, but
Can't
it would
replace
not be
Blade.
Sure. Do you want to replace Blade?
Never.
You have to sharpen your blades once every
You have no clue.
John.
You have
All
no
right.
clue.
You could replace Captain America, but it would not come without me missing Chris Evans. So I'm gonna vote Chris Evans.
So it's tied up. It's up to Mike.
This is an eagle. Yeah.
Okay, so my initial thing was to just vote for Wesley Snipes because I thought I remember liking the Blade movies, but whenever I think of them now, all I really remember is a bunch of vampires at like cocaine disco parties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
Now, I don't really like Captain America as an entity. Like, I don't think like in the comic books, he kind of makes me groan, and I don't think he belongs in movies because he looks ridiculous. Like his like wings on his head, I don't understand why. In the movies, he's always like in a backpack or something. Like I don't know, like it's weird. And then I don't like Chris Evans because of Snowpiercer. Like,
I also kind of came out of Snowpiercer. Like, people led me on to believe that was like that movie is gonna blow my mind, and
same, exactly.
And I thought it was like kind of all right, maybe at best.
About 8 minutes into that movie, I thought to myself, all these people can die. Perfectly all right. So I'm gonna give it to Wesley Snipes mostly because he just got out of jail and I think he deserves it.
That's true. He needs this more.
Did he just come out of jail?
Yeah. Like he's been out for what, like 8 months or something like that.
Something like
All right, let's get Blade 4. Let's do it.
He's already doing like movies and TV shows already. Like he went right back into it. So
We're getting Blade 4, right?
God, let's hope. Wesley Snipes as Blade knocks out Chris Evans as Captain America in an upset 3-2.
People are not gonna like that one.
They need to go watch Blade then.
That's true. Not enough of them have seen Blade.
Yeah, and let me bring this up real quick. If you think any of this even happened before Blade, you're insane. This is the reason it exists.
Yeah,
so
Blade opened the doors.
Yeah. Anthony Mackie as Falcon versus Christopher Reeves as Superman. They both fly, dogs.
Yeah. Anthony Mackie way more fun to watch fly than Superman.
That's true.
Yeah, but I think it's worth putting Christopher Reeves on here because people still talk to me about Christopher Reeves like that. He was like he's emblematic of Superman. Like Superman, kind of like the way Wolverine evolved to mesh around Hugh Jackman. It was sort of the same thing with Christopher Reeves. I mean, that like made his role as an actor. That like made his job as an actor, didn't it?
I mean, yeah. And they have it's tough because like they have colossally fucked up Superman in a lot of ways ever since. It is like there won't be another actor of Superman as good as Christopher Reeves, and they know that. I liked Brandon Routh, but he's no Christopher Reeves. Anthony Mackie, like Falcon could easily have been a boring character nobody cared about, but Anthony Mackie made him like a fun, cool dude.
Wasn't it written like I think I read this like when they were doing promotion for the movie, like, and he was on an interview, and I can't remember if it was paper or if it was actually visual, but he said something like that originally the script was done. It was, it was done. There's nothing. And they basically got him to do extra lines and all this other stuff on set that wasn't in the script at all because they liked him so much on set and he improved morale. He was like really great. And they were like, okay. And then it's so good now that they liked him so good that they put him in other movies that he is not supposed to be in yet. Yeah. And like he wasn't on the list for Avengers and they inserted him in the new Avengers movie. So like I think he's doing a pretty good job. But Christopher Reeve is kind of a classic. Like you're right, it's kind of hard to top like that guy. I actually like I like Brandon Routh. I like was it Harry Cavill? Is that his name? The newest guy? The new guy. I don't mind him. I think he's a little different looking and I'm kind of into that. But I also, spoiler, I don't give a fuck about Superman. So I'm an Anthony Mackie vote.
I've been singing Anthony Mackie's praise this whole episode so far, so I'm voting for him. I think he's the best part of the Winter Soldier.
What's the score?
It's 2 for Anthony Mackie, none for Christopher Reeve.
God, this is a squash match to me, man. Anthony who? Come on, man. Christopher Reeves. This guy, like he is the genre. It wouldn't even be a genre. All these other people have jobs if it wasn't for this guy holding up, probably the hardest character to make any sort of believable movie about is this guy in this blue suit and cape. who can fly, especially in like 1979 with the worst green screen outlines ever. And you know what I mean? You still felt something, man. It's Christopher Reeves.
Yeah.
Oh,
a lot of I'm too young to have those movies have like a cultural impact on me, but from what I understand, there were like lots of children like looked up to Christopher Reeves as an actor.
Yeah, but Anthony Mackie's doing that right now today. Like,
yeah, but not in the same way that I personally, like, I'm sitting here. Go ahead.
I'm saying Anthony Mackie doesn't have to hold up a whole movie.
Yeah,
that's true.
I mean, I gotta go Christopher Reeves. Just because I think you're right, is that like Falcon is a guy that they can kind of mold, like, because nobody really knows Falcon, they can kind of mold him around whatever actor they get, and they got someone who's charming and smart and super good in the role. But like nailing Superman, making Superman go right is fucking impossible, and they still haven't been able to do better. So I'm a Christopher Reeves.
Out of respect, I kind of have to go Christopher Reeves.
Yay!
All right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not arguing. Like Falcon, before I went to go see Winter Soldier, I'd never even heard of Falcon, and Anthony Mackie, charmed the pants off of me in that theater. I got arrested. I was kicked out of that theater. But I mean, Christopher Reeves did so much just being Superman.
All right.
So,
all right. Christopher Reeves knocks out Anthony Mackie 3-2. So we're going to move on to round 2, guys. We got Patrick Stewart versus Samuel L. Jackson. Zoe Saldana versus Robert Downey Jr., Michael Keaton versus Scarlett Johansson, and Wesley Snipes versus Christopher Reeves. So Patrick Stewart versus Samuel L. Jackson.
Battle of the Baldies. This is tough, y'all.
I don't want to do this one. Like,
I am actually gonna go Patrick Stewart. I guess I think Samuel L. Jackson, like, I don't think it's not like a big stretch, Like Samuel L. Jackson has done plenty of like these action guy roles, and Patrick Stewart, like, I mean, it's something he's talked about plenty of how like Patrick Stewart is this like Shakespearean classically trained actor, and they got him to be in a comic book movie. I mean, obviously he was in like Star Trek, like, but
he's always been like that, always. And Samuel L. Jackson, this character was made after him. Like,
sure,
straight molded and created after
but doesn't that
him.
mean that, like, I don't know, does that devalue the casting because
in some ways it makes it more impressive.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, I think Professor X is he's dead on, but he came, like, that character had existed for, as long as he'd been alive at that point,
to me, this is a coin flip. I don't know, man. This is tough.
Which one of these would you rather have be your grandfather?
Patrick Stewart.
Yeah. But I would rather Nick Fury be my dad.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, okay.
I want to go do some crazy shit with Samuel L. Jackson, so I'm a Samuel L. Jackson vote here. Yeah. Sorry. I'm sorry, Patrick Stewart. You're awesome, but
I'm going to go Patrick Stewart purely to insult James McAvoy.
But also, you love mutants, so.
That's true. I'm an X-Man, so. But the thing is, I don't even like Professor X in the comics.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Like,
whatever. I'm a Patrick Stewart vote. Jesse, Eagle, where you are?
I got it's pretty much all Pat from here on out for me. Samuel, you did a good job. You made it through the first round, but it's time to go home. You got a lightsaber to play with when you get home.
Yeah, exactly.
He's
doing okay.
Demanded to have his own purple lightsaber that nobody else had.
Patrick Stewart is like eating pizza on Vine, man. He's got nothing going on. He needs this.
Jesse?
I imagine that if Samuel Jackson, I just want to, I figured, I imagine that nobody's going to light up the same way they lit up when they saw Patrick Stewart at the end of, was it the Wolverine?
What are you talking about?
Patrick Stewart showed up again at the end of the Wolverine?
No.
Days of Future Past, Jesse.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'm voting Patrick Stewart.
Okay.
All right. Patrick Stewart knocks out Samuel L. Jackson 4-1. We have Zoe Saldana as Gamora versus Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man.
Sorry, Zoe.
Yeah, it's Iron Man.
Yeah, that's kind of not even fair. I'm sorry.
Jesse, Eagle?
I'll vote Zoe.
All right. Eagle?
I mean, come on, man.
Yeah. All right.
Downey Jr. used to smoke crack.
That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah. Robert Downey Jr. knocks out Zoe Saldana 4-1. We got Michael Keaton as Batman versus Scarlett Johansson as the Black Widow.
I'm Scarlett Johansson.
I am also Scarlett Johansson. I don't fear Janelle Santa Cruz.
You know what? I'm going to lock this down right now.
Oh my
Scarlett Johansson.
Oh my God!
Oh no, Keaton.
Colin?
I'm a ScarJo.
Whoa! Oh man, I did not see that
That's
coming at all.
horrible.
Now Mike's gonna get beat up. Thanks, guys. Yeah.
Stab.
No, Mike's the only one who listened to Janelle.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's not his fault.
That's
I'm the only one that lives close to her.
right. Right.
Come at us, Janelle.
Scarlett Johansson as the Black Widow knocks out Michael Keaton as Batman 4-1.
That's heartbreaking.
She's watching this bracket right now and freaking out.
We're gonna get text here any second. Wesley Snipes as Blade versus Christopher Reeves as Superman. I'm still not letting up on my Wesley Snipes vote. Sorry, Christopher Reeve, but you also had not very good looking movies, so maybe for the time.
Yeah.
But you killed Triple H as a vampire. I'm sorry, Blade 3 rules.
Oh my God, was Triple H in the Blade?
Triple H
Oh,
also
Jesus
had like a little
Christ.
chihuahua in that movie. He was a vampire. He got killed by Triple H. It's done.
I need to
rewatch
rewatch Blade.
Was the Chihuahua a vampire?
It was also a vampire. Everything's a vampire when you're in Blade's world. You go to cocaine dance raves all the time
Okay.
and slice open vampires.
I need a moment to process vampire Triple H.
La Vampire.
Ew.
I'm going to throw a vote to Christopher Reeves.
And Wesley Snipes was also, think about it like this. Blade was the precursor to Jefferson Twilight from Venture Brothers.
Sure.
So
look, I don't have a dog in this race. I
come
don't
on over, John.
So I don't want it to be up to me. So I'm going to put in a Wesley Snipes vote now before it gets too heated.
I'm a Christopher Reeve vote, so it's down to Eagle.
Come on, Eagle.
Look, man. This got to be Christopher Reeves, man.
No, it doesn't have to be. It doesn't.
Fucking Richard Donner directed the Superman films, Colin. It kind of has to be.
No,
Yeah.
well, he's not getting superhero cast.
Keep in mind, we were all like, we all kind of lived through when Blade came out. A lot of us didn't live through when Superman movies came out. So
3 of you didn't. We old. So Christopher Reeves as Superman knocks out Wesley Snipes as Blade 3-2. We're into the semifinals now, where we have Patrick Stewart versus Robert Downey Jr. and Scarlett Johansson versus Christopher Reeve. I'm putting. Sorry. Yeah,
This first semifinals should be the finals, I think.
I agree.
Yeah, I'm a Robert Downey Jr. vote. I think he is too important to the franchise now. I think he has made Marvel right now what it is. I know Professor X has been doing everything with Fox and X-Men, and I appreciate it, but it is not on the same level that Marvel is putting out with Robert Downey Jr. right now.
I guess, but here's the thing, and I was just thinking about this because Avengers Age of Ultron is about to hit. When those heroes are together, when the Marvel lineup is all together, Tony Stark is kind of the one I care about the least. I'm much more excited to see what the other players are gonna do. And I'm fine to let him kind of sit it out. And also I don't know, I don't know.
Patrick Stewart didn't eat shawarma.
See, we don't know that.
He's probably had shawarma. He's a billion.
Nope. He didn't do it in a movie, so I don't care.
That's true.
I don't know. Flying robot suit. I don't know if
did Tony Stark come up with Cerebro?
That's true.
He probably
didn't come up
could.
with Cerebro.
he could have. Yeah, don't.
No, because the original Cerebro relies on Professor X's abilities.
Well, he could probably build something to do that.
But Tony Stark could build it. He could make it.
You can't build psychic powers.
Yeah.
Tony Stark did start tagging all those mutants and everybody, so I'm sorry.
I'm a Patrick Stewart vote. Fuck Tony Stark. I forgot all about Civil War. I'm a Patrick Stewart vote.
You can't count that.
Too late. I already did. I can vote whatever I want, John.
We're talking about the movies.
Yeah, Civil War is coming out soon, and he's gonna be like, "I hate mutants."
Soon. It's like 3 years.
He didn't. No, Greg. He's not gonna say I hate mutants. So
He's gonna be like, "I hate Inhumans."
He can't legally say it.
Whatever. I'm a Patrick Stewart vote. Where's everybody else?
I'm a Patrick Stewart vote.
I'm a Robert Downey Jr. vote. Easy. Sorry, guys.
It's 2-2. Eagle, it's down to you.
I really.
That's right. This is a Patrick Stewart vote, guys. Come on.
I want to vote Patrick Stewart, but I can't think of one good reason to.
Oh my God!
Come on, Eagle.
Don't came on the cell.
I gotta go Robert Downey Jr.
Oh my god!
In a total upset. Actually, they both got pretty far. So, Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man knocks out Patrick Stewart 3-2. We have Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow versus Christopher Reeves as Superman.
You know who should be here in this bracket?
Who?
Mark Ruffalo as Bruce Banner.
He would be, John, except that you took him out in favor of the Hulk. Or Thor. Whatever. Same guy. Who cares? Christopher Reeve.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm a Scarlett Johansson vote.
If we're talking best cat, I am definitely way more emotionally attached to Scarlett Johansson. But
Jesse's involved with ScarJo.
We text each other. No, I don't know. I think you could probably cast someone else's Black Widow. Not that I'd want to, but you could probably do that. And they've had multiple attempts to cast Superman post Christopher Reeves, and they can't get it right.
Exactly.
They're trying as hard as they can, and they can't get it right.
You guys are not wrong. You're making a lot of sense.
No, you're not. You are, but I'm living in the now. And again, I don't give a fuck about Superman.
Cullen is trying to fit in with those millennials.
They are DC right now is trying to take the new Superman, the new Superman, and they're trying to boot a Justice League. And every time I see that Superman, I'm like, that's not.
I actually don't.
Be so bad.
I actually don't mind him as Superman. I think he does.
I think he's fine. I wish he was in a better movie.
But Scarlett Johansson was awesome in Iron Man.
Oh, she's
and how
fantastic.
great was she in Cap? Come on, it's just.
I'm not arguing against
Guys,
it.
she was so perfect in Cap.
Scarlett Johansson went from being Black Widow is my favorite part of the Marvel universe right now.
Prove it right now.
I
Put your money where your mouth
voting on
is.
superhero casting. We're not talking about.
I need a vote from everybody.
Jesus Christ! I have to vote Christopher Reeves. I'm sorry.
I'm Christopher Reeve. Cullen, you're ScarJo.
Yep, easy.
John.
Cullen, I'm sorry.
John, don't do this. John,
Greg,
don't do this. John,
Greg,
don't do this.
Greg.
Make Mike figure this out. Don't do this.
Mike's voting Christopher Reeve.
I don't give a damn about Superman, but what they're saying is true. What they're saying about there's probably tons of people out there who could make Black Widow work. I'm gonna give it to Christopher Reeves.
I put you on mute. I don't know.
Eagle.
Christopher Reeves once flew around the planet so fast.
That's true.
That we all went back in time. Okay. Scarlett Johansson, I think, just knows Russian or something. Kicks people. I don't know.
Scarlett Johansson doesn't have her own foundation.
Come on.
She punched an alien, but I mean, Superman's a different kind of alien, so.
That's right.
He's punched aliens all through. Yeah. All right. Christopher Reeves as Superman knocks out Scarlett Johansson 4-1. We are to the bronze match first. We got Patrick Stewart as Professor X versus Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow.
Is this a Patrick Stewart sweep?
No, I'm voting
ScarJo vote for me.
I'm still voting Scarlett Johansson. I
can't dunk her in toilet water.
No, I'm not doing that.
John, where are you?
Make Mike vote before me, because I
Patrick Stewart easily. Very, very easily. Wizard Magazine, people.
John, it's down to you. This is what happens when you deflect votes.
I want to vote Scarlett Johansson.
Is that your vote?
I'm gonna vote ScarJo.
You are dunking a man in a wheelchair down the toilet.
Dead man in a wheelchair.
Don't tell Patrick Stewart what I did, please.
Patrick Stewart, come on the show. John dunked you in toilet water.
I'm tweeting at Patrick Stewart right now.
That bald head is made for it.
I'm going to say, excuse me, Patrick, you got 4th place on a show I was on once.
Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow knocks out Patrick Stewart as Professor X for 3rd and 4th. Let's see here. Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man versus Christopher Reeves as Superman.
I think we made this too easy.
Robert Downey.
I mean, on one hand, it's kind of interesting that we've got this original sort of example of how to cast a superhero, and then we've got the new guy in town. I just think the new guy doing it better.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know if he did it better, but I mean, this is new and old right here. This is Christopher Reeve set it up for this,
hot and old,
hot and old right here. And I think Christopher Reeve set it up in a great way. I think he opened the door to all of this, and I appreciate everything. And we got Robert Downey Jr., the hero. So I'm in. Robert Downey Jr.
You're not wrong. I mean, we're still running stories about Robert Downey Jr. going, giving kids this and that, and visiting kids, and kids looking up to Iron Man.
Also doing crack cocaine and having hookers.
That's true.
That's also true, and he's a modern hero for that too.
I'm sorry, Christopher Reeves can't be a modern hero because he's dead.
Yeah.
That's true.
Against him, he's dead.
It's not his fault, Jesse.
Not his fault at all.
Maybe he should fly over here and tell me, oh, wait,
Oh, wow.
Jesus
This
Christ.
got dark
Man.
quick.
I got dark on it. Let's do this. No,
God.
that ain't going to change it for me. Sorry.
Jesse, where's your vote?
What are the votes right now?
Like 3-0 in favor of Iron Man?
I think Colin,
it's
Greg, and I have all given it to our
We
DJ.
locked it up.
Okay, then I'll throw one to Christopher Reeves.
Eagle?
Very Christopher Reeves. You guys are crazy.
I'm with you, Mike.
All
That's
right,
it.
guys. That's it. The best superhero as provided by the Brack Pack. Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. 3-2, knocking out Christopher Reeves as Superman. In third place, Scarlett Johansson as the Black Widow. And in Dirty Toilet Water is Patrick Stewart as Professor X.
And honorable mention to J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah Jameson.
Oh my god, I fought so hard to get him on here. I'm sorry, everybody.
He's not a superhero.
I don't care. He's the best casting in any superhero movie ever.
without a doubt, he is one of the best casting choices.
We're gonna do
in
best.
anything
We're
ever.
gonna do a best Spider-Man casting at some point. So
J.K. Simmons' parents were reading an issue of Spider-Man and said, "Hey, let's make that."
all right. Well, I'd like to thank Open Mike Eagle for coming on this week.
Man, thanks for having me, guys. I was always super fun, man. Yelling about stuff I don't really care about with you guys.
That's how we feel. So, what you got going on? Anything new coming out?
Not that I can think of. just doing shows and stuff right now, man. I know, Oh, I got my podcast coming out. If you guys
listen to Secret Skin.
Yeah, check out Secret Skin. I wish the discussions were as lively as these, but the discussions nonetheless.
They're a little more intelligent than our discussion.
Well, I don't know.
They definitely are that. Yeah. Yeah, man, it's really good. So, dude, go listen, everybody. Also, go buy every album he has.
Yes, all 4 of them.
Really
I am
good.
right now,
Quit bullshitting. Just get 3 copies of each of them.
and I'll give the bracket guys a little kickback.
Perfect.
See what I'm saying? Y'all need to hook it up. Let's make this happen. No, all right. Well, yeah. Well, thank you again for coming on this week. And you guys can find us at bracketpodcast.com. As always, on Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr, and Instagram as BracketCast. If you like, you can subscribe to us on iTunes or whatever podcast client you use. Just search for Bracket. And before you go, leave us a review. Don't leave us a review. We don't care. We're going to pants you in public anyway.
Hello, gentle listeners. Greg here again with the weekly Patreon update. Huge thank you this week to Nick Driver, Dane Peterson, John Jordan, Kevin Fitzgerald, Jeff Criswell, Brandon, Lindsay, Mitch Albright, Will Kusleka, Kayla Smith, Anarchy Marie, Brandon Cranford, and Michael Zavala. As always, you guys are the reason we continue to do this. We're working on dumb stuff. It's fun and making bracket. I'm sorry. I pulled an all-nighter editing this episode, and I can't make words real good, but Patreon's the reason that we keep doing it. So thank you guys so much. Cullen and I are working really hard on getting the store updated. We're going to have all kinds of stuff. The Patreon exclusive shirts are no longer going to be Patreon exclusive. They are going to be a very limited run available for anybody who's not in on the Patreon yet. If you don't like the idea of monthly updates, buying something from the store when it finally goes up is going to be a good way to go about it. We'll make sure to tweet that there's stuff coming up, so don't worry too much. We are officially working on the May shirt. So if you do want a shirt early, like long before anyone else would get access to it, and if you want to guarantee that you get one, because we're doing very limited runs, make sure you get it on the Patreon. It's patreon.com/bracket. Okay, back to the show.
And we'll see you guys next week.
I cannot wait for this to come out and all this to be wrong, because we'll be like, no, Hawkeye and Vision should be number 1 now. Like, doing a professional radio show on the internet.